In this month's property news, we're talking about the election fever and estate agents. And of course, it's another chance to exercise our democratic right as we approach the 2017 general election. We've had Brexit and Trump, and now we get to vote on who we want to run our country. It remains to be seen whether the shock of these two surprise results is enough to prise people off their sofas and into the voting booth. But to be honest, I don't think it's simply complacency and inertia that will stop people voting this time. It will come down to if people trust the eventual Prime Minister in what they say they're going to do, and more importantly, what they're not saying. Contradictory promises, mudslinging, and a poor grasp of financial figures all need to be thrown aside. For really what I hear from my travels across Yorkshire, people just want to know the truth, put their full trust in the newly appointed leader, and just get on with it. Makes me think about, really, the way that people perceive estate agents. Now, regrettably, trust isn't a word readily associated with the sector, which today is often unjustified. Many agents really do a great job in what remains a difficult market. However, some of them still shoot themselves in the foot by using cliched phrases such as requires some updating. Basically, it's a money pit. Viewing recommended. Keen to get at least one viewing. And my absolute personal favourite, deceptively spacious. Looks small because it is small. It leaves buyers feeling that they're being duped. The whole industry has really come a very long way since the 1970s, when dealing with agents was more like the Wild West and very few restrictions on how they operated. Nowadays, there are rules and regulations to protect you, the consumer. The sector's really sharpened up its act to shrug off this wide boy image that has dogged it for years. Although I'm not an estate agent myself, I do liaise with them on a daily basis, and I'm pleased to report that the vast majority are hard-working, decent and honest. Now, obviously with 15 years in property, I've developed long-term relationships with those I trust most. This kind of relationship takes time, energy and constant clear communication to develop so that each side is able to trust the other and do their job properly. Now, as I'm sure you know, the process of buying and selling houses doesn't always run smoothly, and it's at these times that the relationship is really tested. I'm very fortunate in that I know which agents I can rely on in those situations, which is why I can recommend them to my clients. I always work in my client's best interest, and they trust me implicitly in this. The moment I lose this key factor, I might as well pack up and go, live in a deceptively spacious property in need of updating with an easy to maintain garden close to local transport links. Otherwise known as a hole in the ground. Some may argue that politicians should do the same.